All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. A little bit premature here, but I think that we might have a winner here for the Pixel 10 Pro Fold's battery. So I waited until later in the day to make this video here because there's a lot to say about this phone or device, I should say, here. But it's going to take some time to cover this because all the other foldables that I've used, they definitely are good. And some might be better than this one in some areas, but we'll save that. But for now, I wanted to focus on a couple things here. And that would be the battery. Wow. So the battery on here, and this is just kind of, I just want to show it to you. You know, I don't want to do too much talking about it, but look at the battery usage here on the phone. So you can see here yesterday, you know, kind of started using it a little bit later in the day. So from, 7:20 or so to midnight, roughly. But then you go to today, been on it a lot today. And this is really, really good because this battery still has 30% left. And I'm actually pretty surprised that it has 30% left because I just wasn't expecting that. And I'm doing the normal things that I do on a phone, lots of social media, YouTube. There's just a lot that I'm doing with the phone like I would normally do. Because, when you first get a phone, you hammer on it pretty hard. You use it probably more than you would, down the line. Because you're getting used to it, you're setting up, you're signing in everything. And I gotta say, I couldn't be more happy with this battery life. I think this battery will more than likely last me for 2 days. I don't know that I'm gonna get 10 hours of screen on time or anything like that, but I do know that the battery life is good. Normally when you get a phone, it could be a little rough around the edges at first, and it's performing a certain way up front. And as time goes on, though, we should see better battery life out of our products. As the battery breaks in and learns your behavior, the device learns your behavior. We've got AI on these phones now, and so the device will learn your behavior. And it should, I've got my phone set to archive devices or applications that I just don't use. Everything on the phone, I try to use it, like all the apps and everything, I try to use them. But there'll be some times where I just don't, get a chance to use a product, and I'll end up, it'll get archived. Now, the difference between this battery life testing that I've been doing and the battery life from testing from other phones is I kind of left it on 5G the entire time. This is normally my mix is about, let's just say 25% being 5G and the 75% being Wi-Fi. Now I do have, Wi-Fi 7, I have Wi-Fi 6E, I have a blanket of Wi-Fi 6E, but I have Wi-Fi 7 in this particular office. And I've been running this on Wi-Fi 6E, predominantly when I do have the Wi-Fi on, but I decided to turn off Wi-Fi for this entire last 24 hours of having this. And it's been a surprisingly good battery experience. Now, more than that, it's just not about the battery life, the performance of the phone, everything is good. I've been doing some mild gaming, but predominantly I'm just making phone calls with this phone, and just kind of doing a lot of social media, doing a lot of YouTube. I've been doing a heck of a lot of YouTube just to kind of get a feel of, the social media, how it's going to be on here. And I've been using it predominantly in the position like this. Like I'll put on a video and then I'll sit it up and watch it on the top screen right there. So I could be hands-free and I'm just using my Pixel Buds or whatever. But in the end, I'm like, what the heck? I was like, that's what's the name? I was like, wait a minute, I'm not following. But that's the screen protector, Whitestone Dome. They post some crazy stuff. But yeah, I've been watching content like that, and it's been a good experience, man. I mean, this isn't my first foldable, and I have a ton of other foldables. But I will say this, I'll get off battery because, obviously the battery to me is got to be a strong suit when you're looking at, buying a product. You need to have good battery life. And this device now is no exception. Most foldables can do really good on battery. And now this one, to my surprise, has been doing great. I had no knowledge of how I didn't have any kind of preconceived notions or just anything to do with the phone at all, because the only thing I did was went and test it out in the store. And then that's it. And then months later, here we are. I guess maybe a month later, when this came out, I'm finally getting my hands on it. Now, the crease, a lot of people like to talk about the crease. You can definitely see that crease. There you go. I'm trying to get my spotlights on it. You can definitely see that crease. But I've been using foldables long enough to where that doesn't even affect me at all. I don't really care about that. That's not even something that is an important factor to me. It's not. One thing though is nice though. Let me see here. Is that Pixel Snap. You can now use all of your favorite products and like this, your battery packs, all of that on the back of the Pixels, man. I think that's pretty cool. You can do your wallet cases and everything. And I have tons of stuff like that where it just works out perfectly fine. Like I've got a lot of stuff that works with this right here. And it's a strong magnet inside of there too. So that's something that's really good. But ultimately, like I said, I've been doing a ton of social media, emails. I've been doing a lot of emails with this too. Just kind of getting a feel for this form factor. And it obviously reminds me just exactly like my OnePlus Open. It's about the same form factor. So that's pretty good. The hardware itself, now that I've been using it, it's actually pretty solid. No complaints whatsoever. I like it a lot. No overheating or anything yet. I haven't used the cameras yet, but I didn't do any like long videos or anything like that, because we're getting hit with storms and stuff like that. And it's getting a little bit cooler out, not cold, but it's just the rain and then the strong winds make it feel like it's colder than what it really is outside. I mean, outside is 77 degrees, but you know, if it's storming and raining, it's a little bit cooler and it'll feel like it's in the 50s or 60s sometimes. With the rain and the strong winds, it just feels cooler outside. But I will put it through its paces. When I was at the store, the young gentleman that was selling me the phone, again, I think his name was David. He was a really nice kid, nice young guy. I'm not gonna call him a kid. He was a nice young man. And, you know, he was telling me about the IP rating. And I actually don't really think about stuff like that. This is going to be a solid contender for my catalog. Now, it doesn't measure up to, say, something like this. I don't know. I really enjoyed my Pixel 10 Pro XL. Man, this thing is so nice. I had originally picked up the Pixel 10 Pro, the smaller variant of this one. But then I said to myself, what are you doing, Jay? You've got a Pixel 10. You've got a Pixel 10 and a Pixel 9a. And the Pixel 10 is in the family. You know what I mean? So I was like, remember? Remember, you know, so again, not having the SIM tray is annoying. So I don't move. I'll move these between each other, but predominantly I've been using this phone and also the glossy back on here with the brush sides. I like the brush sides, but I don't know how I feel about the glossy back, and that's just the truth. So it just so happened that the Pixel 10 Pro XL has just become one of my favorite phones to date. Lining up to possibly take over for the next 12 months. I don't know, but this phone right here, as far as one of the favorite phones, I would say amongst the masses, but this phone right here definitely is very nice. The hardware is solid. The cameras look pretty decent. I took one photo. Just to test it out, and here it is. I took this one photo right here, and it's a Pixel, man. So the detail and clarity in here is ridiculous, man. It is so good. It is just a strong camera for photos. I've said in other videos, the Pixels have just the best quality sometimes for photos. It's impeccable, man. So I wanted to give you a quick follow-up on the Pixel 10 Pro Fold in 10 minutes. Battery is going to be great, I can tell, and the cameras are probably going to be phenomenal. Again, a little premature, but I think that battery, you tell me how your battery is on your Pixel 10 Pro Fold. Let me know. It's your man Jay. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.